This is the secret to mastering detachment. My name is Dr. Lilli. I'm a mental health doctor and I help you heal from breakups and toxic relationship patterns. We're just gonna hop into this one, but first make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a video. The way that you master detachment is by attaching to yourself. Attach to your own happiness, your own freedom, your own peace, and your own love. Because when you attach to yourself, you're no longer attached to anything else, and whatever else happens outside of you, whether it's your relationship, your job, your living situation, anything that's happening outside of you, the importance of anything happening outside of you will no longer matter because you've attached to yourself and your essence and who you are. Not what you do. And let me clarify, you're attaching to your essence, the true you, underneath all of your titles and the things that you do and the position that you have. It's not about attaching to any of that because all of that can change. And that's part of the art of mastering detachment, is not being attached to those titles, to those things as well. Because you could lose your job, you could lose a limb. Anything could happen, so you need to make sure that your identity and your self-concept isn't just to what you do, but the essence, the kind of person that you are. And there are even characteristics that can be fluid, like I'm a shy person, or I'm a very rigid person, or I just go with the flow. All of those things can change, but the essence, the soul of who you are, will remain the same. And it can evolve. But as long as you're attaching more to yourself rather than things outside of you, it's going to make everything else easier and you'll experience much less attachment to the external world. Which means you won't rely on things outside of you to give you validation or to give you something that should really come from the inside. You become self-reliant, which is freedom. And it's not to say that you can't have a partnership or you can't love somebody or be in a relationship with somebody else, because you can have detachment and still have relationships, still love somebody, but you're not relying on them for your own happiness or your own need for validation or love. This is why the avoidantly attached people actually are very hyper independent and have a lot of detachment naturally based off of their experiences, because their attachment style is more of a lack of attachment, or it's more of a description for how they interact with other people rather than just attaching, because that is their fear. Their fear is of getting into an intimate relationship. It could even be friendships as well, where it requires vulnerability and there is a risk of abandonment. And it's because they are so attached to themselves and their own independence from fear. But what we want to do is attach to ourselves in a healthy way, where we can still let people in, we can still have an open heart and have peace and love, because that's the key to love, is having strong boundaries, yet a soft heart. And also, we don't rely on everybody else or things outside of ourselves to fulfill our basic needs as a human, like validation and love. Where the avoidantly attached people get hung up is that the pendulum swings too far and they're hyper detached. They're detached from themselves, they're detached from their emotions, and that's why they can't form a healthy attachment. And so we need to find the balance between the overly attached, anxious type and the under-attached, avoidant type, and find that healthy middle ground of attaching to ourselves, because we are now our own caregivers, and being able to let people in, but not rely on them for things that should come from within. This is an important skill to practice before you get into another relationship. It doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure you're not going back to your ex. And if you need help with that, I have a free no contact survival guide. It's linked down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.